Saturday morning. Jess, you're off to Theatre Train. Do you know what you're rehearsing for at the minute? You're rehearsing for the show next year, yeah? Are you going to sing us a song?
If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you. Like a free to you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah.
Dropped him off at Theatre Train. Theatre Train is awesome for kids. The confidence that it's given Jesse from when he first started going and he was really shy to performing in front of people, and within the last year he's sung at the Royal Albert Hall, been in his school talent show. He's performing like wherever he can at the minute. He wants to be in shows, he wants to sing in front of people. But it's not just confidence about singing and performing, it's giving him confidence just in day-to-day life. It's giving him confidence with other children. I cannot recommend things like Theatre Train enough. It's really, really been fantastic, Jess. On the healthy bandwagon, or trying to be. I've always had my greens because that's kind of a bit of a habit, so that's not too bad, but I need to not eat rubbish today, which is quite difficult. All the jobs that I needed to do while I was here this morning, one job that I didn't need to do was trim my beard, but I've given it a reet good trim. Probably a bit too much. I always find my face looks really short when I trim it properly. It was getting straggly, but yeah, what do you think? New beard? Might keep it a bit trim for a while. It just gets a bit straggly and wild, and I was looking at videos, particularly when my face is close up. It looks great from a distance, but when the camera's quite close to my face, I was looking at videos and going, oh god, I look awful. So anyway, neatened up. Someone once told me, can't even remember who it was, but always do your neckline. And it's a good tip if you want to look smarter. It doesn't really matter what else is going on with your beard. If you trim your neckline, it looks neat and tidy. Top tip. Anyway, right, let's go pick him up. When I set out, I was late. I'm now just a little bit early. Love this car. I feel like I'm coming down with something. Oh, I've been coughing and spluttering all morning, and I just feel a bit rough.
What have you been doing?
Just bits and bobs. I had a shave. You don't like it? Thanks, mate. Why don't you like it? What don't you like about it?
Because behind it was grey, and now you look like, and now you're big, and your moustache looks like an old man because it's all grey.
Oh.
And before it was brown.
Look what Jessie got.
They can't read it.
Here you come. It is your 2-year certificate for being at Theatre Train. 2 years, Jess, is quite a commitment, and I think you've done really well at Theatre Train. You've had solos, you've been in shows, you've been at the Royal Albert Hall. Well done, dude. High five. So we popped into work because I'm going to watch football here before going back up into Coventry, and I thought I would have a little chat about hard drives. Not the most interesting subject you might think, but really important in a recording studio. I use these hard drives all the time, and I've got loads more of them. So I thought I'd talk about what are good, what are bad hard drives. This drive, slightly older one, a 1 terabyte drive, slow now in comparison to an SSD drive, which all of these ones are. Now these I still use for backup because you can buy a 4 terabyte one of these pretty cheaply, around about sort of between £60 and £100 at the minute, depending what's on offer and where you get them from. So they're great for backing everything up and keeping an archive of what you're doing. So still use those ones. What I don't like about these ones is they quite often have these kind of double, I don't know if you can see that, but double sockets. It's almost like having a micro USB with a little add-on on the end. Those leads are harder to find than any of these which use USB-C leads, and they are much easier because I've got a whole bunch of those, so I've always got one of those to hand. These are also much faster than these. It comes into it when you're transferring a load of files, which if you're doing video as well as audio stuff I used to think created massive files, and when we were doing the gig last week in Dublin, the sound engineer gave me a copy of all the individual tracks that she'd recorded into Reaper, and she said, oh, you're gonna have to wait ages for these, you know, they take forever. I'm recording at 96, and yeah, it'll be like about 40 minutes. I plugged one of these drives in, which is a Samsung drive, and it took about 14 seconds, which was brilliant. But anyway, so speed, particularly when you're doing video stuff, but also for audio, if you've got loads of transfers to do, you want it to be quick. These are brilliant. They copy massive files in seconds, particularly from your laptop to disk, or from this disk to another disk. So speedy over USB-C. The other thing that's quite important to me is I need to be able to take them with me. So I need to be able to grab hold of them, shove them in a bag, and know that they're going to be protected. So out the ones I've got here, you've got these Samsung drives, which are T7. So I've got a red and a blue. Nice that you can get different colours, because I've also got 2 black ones of these, and I never know which one's which. I've tried labelling them or with a marker, but it comes off and it's on black, and I need to stick a label on it. Well, I don't really like doing that. The other thing with these is they are hard, so they're not great for shoving in your bag. Really nice form factor, they're really small, but you don't want to just be shoving these all over the place because they scratch, as you can probably see. So really good drives. I found to be really fast. They've actually been incredibly reliable. I've had these for a couple of years, had no issues with them at all, and they're nice and fast with their transfer speeds. Then I've got these SanDisk ones. I like these a lot. They're kind of rubber coated, but only on sort of 3 sides, the sides and the back. The front's kind of got this plastic bit on, so they're a little bit sturdier than the Samsung ones. You've got kind of this little bit in here, you could put it onto a latch or a key ring or something. Quite handy. This is a 2 terabyte one. In fact, these are also 2 terabytes. These are good. They're really light. They've got that kind of rubbery texture on, so again, good for shoving in your bag. They've always been really reliable as well, and fast, like the Samsungs. Then we go on to these. So these are a little bit more rugged. Got a G drive one, and then another Samsung. Now this is a T7, but it's called something like a T7 Shield. It's got this rubber coating all around it, which gives you a lot more confidence kind of chucking it around and throwing it in your bag. This one really is rugged. I mean, look at the top on that and the way that it screws in. Don't you can hear it? It's quite funny. Jesse's doing his vlog next door. He's filming and he wants to do a vlog as well, so he's doing all that at the minute. Maybe I'll sneak in a minute. This one's really rugged, but it was really expensive. This was £400, and it's a 4 terabyte drive, as is this one. And that's what was important to me on both of these drives, was that I was running out of space on the 2 terabyte drives because of the video files I was using. This one I actually use as my sample drive, and that one stays in the studio. I also have one of these now as a sample drive because I used up the 4 terabytes on this one. My old sample drive was huge. It was like a brick, and I was always worried about it breaking. If I wanted to work on the go, I couldn't take it with me, so I got one of these because if I want to work on my laptop at home or on the go, if I'm traveling, I can literally take all of my samples with me, and I've got a backup of them on the big drive. Always important to get backups so that if anything does happen to this, I can retrieve all my samples. Thousands and thousands of pounds worth of samples, so it really is important that you get that right. So these are really like, this is my favourite drive that I've got. The G drive, I think, it's sturdy, it's rugged. All of these drives have been reliable, so they're all as reliable as each other. I believe it's got a bit of a heat sink and it lets heat out through these little vents, so I think that is a really top quality drive, but you're paying top price for it. This one, which is the T7 Shield 4TB drive, I have a problem with this one in that the USB-C barely goes in and it doesn't kind of clip in. So with these drives, for instance, same company, Samsung T7 drives, bear in mind I have multiple ones of the Shield and they're all exactly the same, so it's not a one-off. These, there's a little click, I don't know if you can hear that, I'm going to do it right by the microphone. There's a little click as you push it in the end. Once that's in, that's not going anywhere. This one, there's no click, there's nothing, and it's loose in there, so literally straight away with hardly any movement it falls out. Now these are the ones that I really want to take out and about with me, and to be blunt, I can't, because I plug it into my laptop, I'm editing a video or I'm recording and I've accidentally knocked it ever so slightly or moved my laptop ever so slightly and it's disconnected. And you know, that's how you lose recordings and lose projects and corrupt drives and all sorts of things. So the Samsung T7 Shield, there's a design fault on it because it doesn't push in as far as it needs to, and that's a real problem. So I can't recommend the Samsung T7s or the T7 Shield as much as I'd like to. I can't recommend the T7 because there's no protection of it. I can, however, recommend the SanDisk. These are really nice drives, and they're easy, and you can have multiple 1 or 2 terabyte drives and throw them around and they will be fine. Heavily recommend the G drive, and I think what I'm going to have to do is have this as my portable one and have 2 of these as my studio drives, because there's nothing wrong with them. I mean, that literally just came out of my hand there. There's nothing wrong with them other than that, and sat in a cupboard kind of stored away, and I could probably even sort of fix that a little bit better into there somehow. I don't know, cable tie or something just to hold it in place. So the drive I would recommend for all of your studio needs is the most expensive one. No real surprise there. It's also by far the most rugged drive, and I think it's probably going to be the most reliable because of its ruggedness and the kind of the heat sink, the heat release in there as well, is the G drive. So I need more of these 4 terabyte G drives, and then I guess I'll be away. So yeah, G drive, that's what I go for all of my hard drives if I could, and that's probably what I'm going to move to over the next few months. So you've been filming your own show. You've been filming on your iPad down there?
Yeah.
That looks cool, doesn't it? That's your little setup. You're really good at this stuff, aren't you? Mm-hmm. You make good TV shows.
Okay, so here's the amazing Kevin Duncan.
Yay!
You've got a new channel, Studio Life Baby. Make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the Studio Life Bell.
The Studio Life Bell, yeah, my new channel. Are you enjoying my new channel? I mean, you're one of my only viewers at the minute. You watch it most mornings before you go to school, don't you?
Yup.
Do you think when you grow up that you're going to be a famous YouTuber? Because I think you are.
I'd like to hit at least 1 million subscribers.
You want at least 1 million? Yeah, I mean, that would be pretty amazing, wouldn't it? I will place a bet now, live on camera, that you will probably get to 1 million subscribers way before I do. You know, I probably never will get to 1 million subscribers, but I think you will. Because you are brilliant.
Yeah.
This is the weirdest interview I've ever done. We're off on our way to Coventry to go and see Grandma, aren't we, in the show?
Yep.
Very excited about that. Shall we stop and get a coffee?
We? I don't even like coffee. To our garden.
one of your favourites, isn't it, Chicago?
I hope they do the
Not
same.
at all suitable for you, is it, Jess?
I hope they do the same.
It's very dark. I don't think we can see us again. How was Grandma?
Good.
She was very good, wasn't she? She hid at the back of the stage. I didn't get much footage, did I?
No, you shouldn't have even been doing it.
There was
'cause
notices up saying don't film, and I ignored them. Right, we've got a long drive home, Jess. We've got at least 2 hours home, maybe 2.5 hours. Are you tired? Are you vlogging?
Yeah.
Me too.
I'm fucking.
I'm vlogging you vlogging. If you vlog me, Jess, I'll be vlogging you vlogging me, vlogging you, vlogging me, vlogging me, vlogging you, vlogging me, vlogging you. It's about 10:30 at night, and we've still got about 2 hours before we get home.